So, the Suns beat the Bucks in Game 2. Multiple stories coming out of this one, whether it be the Phoenix Suns going crazy from 3, or whether it be Mikal Bridges with an incredible game where he had 27 points, Devin Booker also with a good game, or maybe you look to the Bucks side where Jrue Holiday and Khris Middleton were terrible, and Giannis had just an incredible game all round, defensively, in transition. Even in the half court, he was hitting some fadeaways, but Jrue Holiday and Khris Middleton building a house. Like the amount of mid-range off the pick and roll or left-handed layups for Jrue Holiday that they missed just makes it really hard to win a game when your star players, Jrue Holiday 7 for 21 and Khris Middleton 5 for 16. Jrue Holiday 17 points, Khris Middleton 11 points. I mean, you just need more than that from your second and third best players, especially when the Suns really play well. And well, I wouldn't say they really played well, but they played well. They're not making too many mistakes, and they were hitting their threes, which is the big thing for them tonight. If they missed a few more threes, maybe it could have gone the other way just because of how good Giannis was. And I thought the Bucks made some good adjustments in this game. Off the pick and roll, they were no longer switching most of the time, especially when they had Brook Lopez in there, but rather having Brook Lopez do a drop but still come up a little bit more. And I thought it worked pretty well. They weren't getting cooked on mid-range shots. And also the lob wasn't super open. I mean, they got a few lobs to Ayton, but it's something you'll live with if it means Chris Paul and Devin Booker not getting wide open mid-rangers. And then the other thing was they pressed full court when they could, the Bucks did. And yeah, I thought that worked pretty well. I think Chris Paul had 6 turnovers, which for him is pretty high, and it looks like they're wearing him down towards the end, but it just came too late. And, the Suns had timely threes. Devin Booker had 31 points, all very timely. And then the Bucks just made a few defensive mistakes. Like, I'm thinking of Devin Booker getting 2 wide open threes near the end of the game, which sort of put it out of reach. Obviously, them missing a lot of shots, being mostly Jrue Holiday and Khris Middleton. And then just a few times they didn't know when to switch, and it just led to a few Suns open threes, one Chris Paul wide open mid-range, and that plus the Suns hitting a lot of threes meant it was hard for the Bucks to win the game. But coming out, I thought the Bucks looked really good. As I mentioned, the more aggressive defense, just being more aggressive on both sides of the ball. They were really getting into the paint and getting a transition, and then also pressing and putting pressure on the Suns, with their defense and their pressing. And I thought the game had a really good flow to it in the first. I believe the first foul wasn't for a while, and it was just really enjoyable. So that's good. Obviously not 2 big market teams in this finals, but I thought the quality of play and the basketball was still pretty good. But as the Bucks were putting high pressure and looking to rush Chris Paul and Devin Booker, Bridges really stepped up for the Phoenix Suns. He had a great game all round. I mean, offensively, 27 points, that's his playoff career high. And then defensively, being super active, getting a few tips, getting a few steals, being able to switch and guard multiple players. I thought, and then also his points were not just all catch and shoot threes. In fact, only hit 3 threes, I believe. It was him flaring to the elbow. It was him pump faking and then driving inside. It was also him getting to the free throw line quite a bit. So, very impressive performance for Mikal Bridges, and they did need it. Ayton only had 10 points, and shot under 50%. He still wasn't bad, but I thought Brook Lopez actually played pretty well. I mean, I know some people will say, it's just he can't switch, so it does hurt the Bucks sometimes defensively. But I think between him getting a few boards and playing pretty decent defense positionally, I think it's still okay to have him out there for 28 minutes a game. But obviously, some other things for the Bucks. Pat Connaughton had a good game off the bench, 14 points, and he was really just the only guy who was hitting his shots. apart from Giannis, of course. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how many ways to say Jrue Holiday and Khris Middleton couldn't hit a shot, and it was all on Giannis. Giannis was just so good in this game, very efficient. Yeah, just everything you want out of a performance. 42 points, 12 rebounds. Defensively, he had a couple of monster blocks, but still not enough. So we'll see about the next games. I think the Suns, you would bet on them shooting a bit worse from three, and combine that with maybe Jrue Holiday and Khris Middleton hitting a few more mid-rangers, and the Bucks could have easily won this game. So I don't think it's done for the Bucks at all. They obviously came back down from down 2-0 against the Brooklyn Nets, so they're definitely capable of it. A few other things. Jeff Teague just shouldn't be in the game. Like, I don't know why he's out there. Just give his minutes to Forbes, because he can offer more offensively with his three-point shooting, and they're both pretty bad defensively. So why have Jeff Teague out there instead of Forbes? Some other things. Yeah, Giannis, if I talk a bit more about him, a lot of the points were obviously just transition, because that's a lot of what he does. But I was also really impressed in the half court. He had a couple of nice spin moves. He hit a couple of nice fadeaways. He is being used as a screener and someone who gives handoffs, gets involved in the two-man game. And I thought that was really effective, and he was really good. And then in the third, he was just taking over, using his strength and physical gifts. He had 20 points in the third, which is like the most for a while in a finals game. So yeah, great from Giannis. Maybe a few more things. Yeah, down the stretch, I thought Booker was good with his timely shots. Hit a couple of very, very important threes. 7 for 12 from three. I mean, this new generation of players who can just shoot threes and also get inside and score inside. Very impressive from Booker. And yeah, he's the type of player that can really level up his game in the playoffs, because he can score so many different ways, and he's such a versatile player. Off the pick and roll, when he gets a big switched onto him, coming off the screens, off ball. Yeah. If there's anything else to mention, I don't really think so. I thought the Bucks' game plan was solid, but at the end of the day, the Suns just shot so well from three that it's going to be hard to overcome that if you're an opposing team. And also with Jrue and Middleton not playing too well. So we'll see what happens in Game 3. I definitely don't think it's over. I mean, the home team is supposed to win the first two games, right? So I don't think it's over. I think the Bucks, I don't think their defensive game plan was bad at all. I just think maybe they need to do a little bit better job of running players off the three-point line, and then just having Jrue and Middleton play better. Okay, anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. Leave a like, subscribe to this channel for more NBA content, and I'll see you guys next time.